No Bluffin Podcast. We back with another one. We got a very special guest. Sacramento's own Keith Powers is in the building. We appreciate you pulling up on us, my dog.
Of course.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
NorCal,
Yeah.
not the Bay. You call it NorCal.
Yeah.
I was going to ask.
Not the Bay, the Sacramento. But it's all NorCal.
Uh-huh.
But it's not the Bay.
It's really
You
like,
got to know that first.
it's like its own culture up there.
Yeah.
Like it should be two separate states, honestly.
Nah. The culture is similar. It's just that, you know what it is? It's kind of like the IE to LA.
Okay.
It's kind of like that.
They're nothing alike. They're nothing alike.
But I'm saying though, they take some culture from LA.
Yeah.
You feel me? It's Southern California, right? A little bit.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Because Tommy Boy swear he from LA.
yeah, he really not. He definitely from Riverside. Somewhere.
I definitely grew up around dudes who grew up in Sac. Even women that grew up in Sac and would be like, I'm from the Bay. It's like, no.
Right.
You're not, bro. You've been here since second grade. You're
Right.
not, bro. So
Right.
that's how it be.
So how was it like coming up in Sacramento? Was you into like just regular stuff as a kid, sports, all that stuff?
Yeah, all the regular stuff. I think coming up in Sac was fun because I got a big ass family in Sac, and it was dope because like we all play sports together. So we all play Pop Warner football. I hooped, but I was trash. Just had to hoop. I had the headband and everything. I was at full court hooping in Sac. Played baseball. Did all that, man. Like really grew up just around sports. That's all I knew, right? And that was just everybody's dream was like make it to the pros. But like my work ethic was, I always wanted to do something else. I was playing video games. I wanted to rap at one point. I thought I was an artist at one point. Like it was just it always switched, but I always had a great foundation and supporting system. Yeah. Like always had the fam around. My dad was a hustler, but he was just the ultimate provider. It was dope. I mean, it's grounded. It's needed, especially moving into the industry I am now. I mean, that's my whole makeup of, I need that. And that helped me too with my art. So, I mean, growing up in Sac was dope. We always feel like an underdog city though. And that's why I rep Sac so hard because seeing somebody come from Sac, it's like, come on, bro. Like, and make it big in entertainment. And entertainment, I mean like sports, TV, film, all that. It's like one of the best things ever. Really feel like it's attainable. But when I was young, I felt like we could make it to the pros from Sac, but I always felt like there's no way you could make it to like TV and film. Like seeing that on TV had me just like, ain't no way, bro.
Right.
So moving to LA was like kind of, was it not mandatory, but it was always a idea, you know?
I never had the idea. I always thought I would be like in the South or something because I thought I was going to play football. So I'm thinking like, I'm going to be in the South. I'm going to be probably in the Midwest. LA always felt like Mars, and it was in California. It's weird. It felt like every time I go to LA, I'm looking around the palm trees. I'm like, this is crazy. Like, how do people even live in this? This is somewhere people come just for Disneyland, sports, and TV, film, and then disperse. You know what I'm saying? But nah, I thought I was gonna be somewhere else or like on the East Coast. When I came out here, I was like, oh snap, I'm here.
Yeah. When did you like your passion for like acting and film? Is that something like was you into like plays and stuff when you was younger? Like when did it start?
I mean, I did talent shows. I did a couple of talent shows. I used to go to camp, and my mom. I remember I did a Wild Wild West performance. And with my cousin, he couldn't dance, so my mom told him to sit like this the whole time. And then she gave me a whole Wild Wild West routine, and then I was up there rapping. And I think that was the early stages of me like wanting to be some type of entertainer. You know what I'm saying? I always just, I feel like we all kind of like was class clowns to a certain extent, goofy. You know what I'm saying?
Facts,
to a certain extent. That's just all of us. I think that's just in our culture and what we grew up watching, Fresh Prince, Martin and stuff. I think. I had an idea. I remember watching Disney Channel and looking at the Disney auditions and thinking like, bro, I can do that, but like, how do you do that?
Right.
Shit, I still think like that.
Nah, you should though. 'Cause the thing is though, like you really could. Like, and I remember just looking at that like, man, there's just no way. Yeah. I remember it was this one white kid that won like a guest starring role in That's So Raven. And I remember them showing his audition, then him getting it and showing him being coached by like an acting coach, and then showing his episode. And I was like, damn, I would love to do that. But I actually I was modeling at 9 in San Francisco. So I had booked like an NBA job, like as a 9-year-old, to wear like the NBA jerseys, and I was like in a Source magazine and all
that's
these little
fire.
magazines as a kid. But at the time, I wasn't really crazy about it. I was just like, my mom at one point, she was like, either you're gonna keep doing this, and we're gonna keep driving you to San Francisco, or you're gonna play sports. And I was like, I'm about to play sports.
Yeah.
Like, what? Yeah, but then I didn't really get introduced to the craft again until I moved out here.
How old were you when you moved here?
I moved out here at 17. So 17. I came right after high school. I graduated at 17. When I moved out here, I turned 18. And then I was staying with my godmom for like a couple months. Then I got my own place across from Northridge College. I had like 2 jobs at the Panga Mall.
Oh, you was working at the mall. See, humble beginnings, man. You can't have too much pride to work, man.
Hell no.
Nah, facts. I had 2 jobs at the mall, and then I was then I was going to University of Phoenix, doing online classes, and I ended up getting signed to Wilhelmina as a model.
How did that happen? Because that's a big,
I heard that one. I know that one.
Yeah, I was already signed to San Francisco. So when I packed up and just left, my agency was like, why would you leave and not tell us you left? We could recommend you to other agencies. But at the time, they didn't even know I went to go see Ford. I went to like an open call at Ford modeling agency. And they looked at my stuff, closed, and gave it right back. They was like, thank you.
Damn.
Right back, I was like, damn.
Next.
That's when I called, and I let them know I was in L.A., my agency in San Francisco. They was like, why you ain't tell us, Jay, model agency? And then they recommended me. They got me a meeting with Wilhelmina. And the meeting went good. They was like, you got a good look. They was like, you could do a lot of commercial work. They was like, we want to sign you. Sign me. Should never signed a contract. I signed a contract at like 17. It was like a rollover contract.
Damn.
To where like,
well, yeah, what is the rollover?
So I think it was like a 4-year rollover contract. So every 2 years, every 2 year it'll just roll over and just restart without them having to call you or tell
How do you get out of it?
So if you don't work for a certain amount of time, you're able to just cut the contract. So technically, what's so funny, I'm still in that contract with Wilhelmina, but I don't really model like I used to. So it don't. In all the modeling I do, if it's not through Wilhelmina, it's just through me or my team, and they can't take none of that. So I remember meeting with them recently. I don't really model no more. They were just like, that contract doesn't even exist anymore.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
That's
as a model,
crazy.
you don't have to sign a contract, bro.
Damn.
You literally don't. Like they work for you, and they could book jobs for you on your behalf and get commission off those jobs, but you should never sign a contract. Honestly, as an actor as well, and I'm not signed in a contract as an actor, but it's just like more of they get commission off the jobs they book you.
Yeah.
So that's the advantage. You gonna get booked more.
Yeah, well, it's not really an advantage. It's just like you shouldn't sign a contract with an agency and them have you locked in if they don't have work on the table. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. It's kind of like a scam. They try to get talent to like sign with them. And if you paying for your agency to be an agency, that's a super red flag. You should not be paying for your agency. Do not pay for your agency, because why are you paying? It's like you're paying a monthly bill for what? For them to honestly be like a middleman. Like,
right. Yeah.
So that's just stuff I had to learn. But what's funny is Wilhelmina introduced me to my first boutique acting agency. And that's how I got into acting. Nice. And then I took a lot of classes.
Yeah. So how much time did it take for you to like start learning how to act? Like you took classes, like what's the process of it?
And how much of it is natural versus the classes?
Man, like that's always the tricky thing, right? I feel like you're always learning. I learn new things about the art. I think when I took classes, it helped me to open up in front of other actors, and it helped me to learn just basic technique like Meisner and Strasberg, like those techniques, using sense memory or using imagination, imaginary circumstances, and trying to make them real so you can feel something. Like those techniques really help to when you need to lean on something. But I think I learned how to become a better actor when I just learned story. You know what I'm saying? Understanding the circumstances of a scene. Understanding my character and how my character will react in those scenes, how he would justify. As an actor, you have to justify your character's actions. If you grew up in the streets and you become an actor and your character is a snitch, and you like against 100% get snitching, you have to find reasons to justify that snitching. Like you have to put yourself in those shoes and have empathy for that character. That's when I started understanding acting more, and just also just taking my time and understanding, like, in a scene, I don't have to, if I see a character, I don't have to act how I think that character would act. Just do it, if that makes any sense. Like, if I'm playing a character that's just in this podcast like we are, I don't have to act like how I feel that character. Just do it. Just talk. Say the lines. Understand what's going on. That's what I understand. I had to simplify it.
Do I always hear, like, some of the, like, people be like, yo, I bombed this audition for this commercial and I booked it. And then the jobs where they did really good in auditions, they didn't book them. Like,
Story of my life.
like, how does that even work, bro? Like,
because every job wants something different. Like, it's all subjective and relative, right? What we do. Like, nobody, there's no right or wrong way. It's just truth, right? You could come in and murder a scene and your height just didn't work with how they are casting the family. They might be like, yo, he's just too tall for the dad, and we need the dad to be the strong character on set. But of course, if they really love you, they'll make that shit work. They'll get a dad some stilts. They'll do something, but it's always little stuff, right? Like, it's always been auditions where I go in not caring. And then they love me. I don't know if it was my energy, my confidence, probably because I wasn't really tripping. And then it'd be somewhere I'm studying for weeks. I go in there hella nervous I'm studying for weeks and I think I kill it. And I'm like, yo, hey, there's no way somebody could tell me I ain't booking this. And I don't even get feedback. Damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't know. But it also been times where I did feel like I killed it, and it was like, it's yours. Because sometimes you could read the room.
Right. And sometimes it's just about a look.
Yeah, like the look thing, at a certain level, every actor could kind of act. So then it's about what type of energy that actor give, right? I think Leo and Christian Bale could do a lot of the same type of roles, but what energy are you looking for? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's a lot of factors that go into it. It's actually pretty stressful, but you also got to understand, like, what's for you is what's for you. You got to also understand who you are as a talent, and where you fit. Then you got to be self-aware.
Were you nervous? Because so like him,
I just gave up my acting. Look, if I had any acting dreams, I gave them up.
For him, he played too much. As soon as they say action, he gonna start laughing. He play all day. He play around all day.
Somebody might be looking for that.
For certain stuff, they really do be looking for that.
So was you nervous going into like your first audition? So like for him, him all-state long snapper, never got on the field for defense. I don't know how he lucked into a scholarship to play DB. Lucked into it. He was a long snapper.
I did play long snapper. I did. That's hard. I played defense too. I did play long snapper. I'm gonna let you finish. Go ahead.
So, was you nervous, like going into your first audition? Are you? Is it other people? Like, how many people's in the room? Is it a line of people waiting for? Like, you waiting in line to go in? Like, what is it?
Well, the game has changed so much. Now we sending self-tapes or we on Zoom. So like,
that's different.
It's a good thing and a bad thing. But like the old auditioning days, you walking in, you seeing like 15 people that's your type. Like, everybody sizes each other up. It's hella awkward. People quiet. Some people walk away after they sign their name. They walk away, go study in the hallway. Some people like to talk to people to kind of get them off their game. Like, yeah, you got this. Like, nah, you good. I done had that happen so many times. Like,
gamesmanship.
I'm gonna let you focus for right now, but let me ask you this question real quick. Like, I done had people do that, and like, it's hella nerve-wracking. And then that's one. And then you might be in the room. It's been times where I was in a room seeing actors I grew up watching just in the industry that's around my age.
Now you competing with them for a job.
In my head, I already lost, though. Like, I'm like, bro, he gonna get it. Like, it's just no way I'm about to get this role. Like, he been doing this. You start really kind of psyching yourself out and kind of taking yourself out the running for a role before you even get into the room. That's one beast. Then you walk into the room and you got the casting director, you got the reader, you might have a producer, you might have a director, like they all sitting in there and they like, yeah, how you doing? And ask you questions and they're like, yeah, let's start it up. And they just sitting and you gotta just act in the room. And it's nerve-wracking, it's scary. It's like, it just feel like you tap dancing, for real. Auditioning ain't never really been fun to me. But I've gotten so used to it now, I think it's just, I'm way more confident now, for sure.
Are there times where there's like no audition?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Oh yeah,
For sure. I got offered like twice in my career. One of them was for The Perfect Find, the Netflix film with Gabrielle. I got offered that role, and that's lovely. But it also, I feel like, is the same amount of pressure because it's like these producers, these execs, the studio is trusting that they could book you for this character without an audition. And sometimes when you do book off audition, well, I know for me, all the time when I book off an audition, I feel like I earned it.
Right.
I showed you what I could do in the room and what I could bring to this character. Now we're gonna take that and make it way more once we get on set. When you offer me the time they gonna see me be the character is in the table read.
Yeah.
So that table read is that's like
Crucial.
the audition.
Yeah.
Because now like you got all the execs and everybody watching this table read and you gotta deliver.
You our
on
first
the
round
table.
draft pick now.
No,
You
real
better
talk.
much. Yeah.
And you gotta deliver like at least a 80. We call at a table read. I try to give like a 85 to 90% performance at the table, but it's like, you know what I'm saying? You gotta do that at the table in front of them. So, I mean, yes.
How much? So like when you get a script, how much are you able to kind of play with the words, or do you say exactly what's on the paper, or do you kind of like what's the leeway you kind of get as far as like playing with the words
I
and
think it
changing
just
things?
depends on the project, right? I think some writers are so good, some filmmakers are so good that you don't want to adjust their words unless y'all had a conversation. You know what I'm saying? And then there's some, it might be like a comedy or something where it requires, the role requires you to add to the dialogue so you could take up that space and make it feel real. So it just depends on the project. I think that improv, going off the paper and improv is what makes something real. I don't know if y'all ever just watch something where it just really feel like they having a convo. You're like, yo, that could be improv. Like they staying in the guidelines of what the scene is, but they add in little things to just make you feel like, yo, this is real. And like, it just depends on the project. A lot of TV shows don't let you do that. They got to reach a certain time.
Yeah.
Most movies, you could improv like crazy. Some TV shows you could though, depending on which stage they say. Every job is different. It's like joining a new football team every job because there's so many working parts, and you got to learn people every new job. Unless you're on a TV show that's running for hella years, but like movies, it's like you joining a new team every time. So everyone works different.
I can imagine.
It's
that.
crazy.
So was in 2013 you landed a role in the movie House Party. Was that the first movie you booked?
Yeah, that was the first movie. We shot that in South Africa.
How was that?
Damn.
Yeah,
What part of South Africa was you in?
Cape Town. Yeah. Crazy.
I'd have been late to set. I know some
No, you
spots
wouldn't
down there. I know some spots.
No,
Yeah.
it was so funny. We was kicking it. I was 19. You didn't have to be 21 to get into the clubs.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. So I was kicking it. I ain't gonna lie. I had a really good time out there. That was amazing. I was like, I mean, the movie was it was a fifth installment to a classic franchise, which I mean,
Classic
the first
movie.
one is the best one. But it was just my first job. I was just happy to just learn how a set worked. Of course, I was in Africa, so it was different. It was so different, but we had a great time. I think I really look at that as like, I cherish all my jobs and my moments because they all taught me something.
Yeah.
I just remember that first scene I had to shoot. I was so nervous, sweating under my arms. It was crazy. It was just like when you get thrown into a scene, everything feels so loose, right? Because it's just like you got to hit your. I mean, it do, but it don't. You got to hit your mark. You got to talk to the brand. You can't step in front of they coverage. It's just so many little things, but at the same time, you still like can move. Then you start thinking you can't move. It's just like
It's like that. It's things that it's like how you be saying like fans will come at you on Twitter, but we don't know the calls. We don't know.
Hell no.
It's like all the stuff he's
see.
saying. I watching something. I never think about that.
Yeah.
so many things, bro. You got to think too. It's hella people behind the camera, just watching. Right? You know, like you really gotta like. It's crazy to think what we do. Like we really find the truth in these setups that are just so not like real. It's weird. Like you kind of just psych yourself out and you kind of just learn how to, you know, find the truth in those scenes. But it was a fun experience. House Party was super fun. Yeah.
How long you had to stay out there?
We stayed out there for 2 months.
Ooh.
2 months.
And then like the days, when was I guess, call time to when y'all can go home every day on average?
So like I think on that one, I was probably getting the set around like 9 a.m., 10 a.m. and probably leaving around 7 p.m. It wasn't too crazy.
That's a long day.
Bro.
That's a good day's work.
If you a lead, you for sure. For women, I feel so bad for women on set. 'Cause they gotta get hair, makeup, depending on their character and stuff. You talking about like we talking pick up at 4 a.m., call time 5 a.m. They probably ain't getting off till like 8 p.m.
Damn.
Then you got a 6-hour turnaround, I think it is, or is it a 12-hour turnaround? It's a turnaround between when you rap and when your next call time could be. So like if you rap at 7 p.m., I think your call time can't be at like 7. No, it can be at 7 a.m., but it can't be no time before that. So it has to be a certain amount of hours within that turnaround. But when you on set and you got to get into character, learn these lines again, and be emotional, and then you go to home and go to bed, and then you might work the next day. So you got to get to them lines. If you ain't seen them lines for them all, like you got to look at that scene for a little bit before you fall asleep. But it's weird how your mind just pick it all up.
Yeah.
You start understanding the character and stuff. It's crazy what your body can do. You just kind of rise to the occasion. It's weird.
Do you ever feel like any pressure in terms of like, let's say we on set and let's say you messing up a line and you gotta like keep redoing, like, is there any like pressure you ever get in your head like, man, no, I gotta get it right? Or even if you get it right and they have you redo it, is that kind of like you be, damn, did I not do it right? Like, how does that work?
Bro, I was the worst when I first started acting because I'm trying to impress everybody. I had a really bad thing where like I'm trying to seek validation on set. Yeah. I had a lot of vets and a lot of producers tell me, and a lot of acting teachers, like, when you get on set, it's F everybody, bro. Do not try to find and seek validation out of people on set because you'll never reach your full potential. And that's the most true thing ever. I'm talking about messing up and I'm saying, I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. They looking like, even the director looking like, you good, just keep going. Like, we gonna get it. Like, don't worry about the words. And the more he say that, the more I think about the words, and the more my scene partner looking like, come on, like I'm just messing up more and more. Bro, this just happened recently. I'm working on a show right now. The director tells me some information that I didn't even know about my character, but he thought I knew about it when I did my audition. And he was telling me, bro, when I watched your audition, you killed it because you played it one way, but everybody else played it a different way, but you played it like you hid what was the secret in the scene. And he was like, I love that. He was like, nobody else did it like you. And he told me this secret, I can't say it, of course. And I was like, I'm gonna be transparent, bro. I didn't know about that.
That's hard.
And
That's
then but he was like, but it's also scary though, because he was like, oh, you didn't know?
I shouldn't have told you.
He was like, forget what I told you. But bro, we going into rehearsal now. That's all on my mind. Yeah. So the first rehearsal we do, I did so bad, bombed it. I couldn't even say my lines. I kept thinking about what he just told me. But what I did different this time is I didn't go to the showrunner looking for validation or the director. I just knew I was gonna get it. I'm like, nah, we got it. Yeah, like after I messed up, the scene was over. I just kind of sat down, was in my own world. It wasn't no like, was that cool? I'm gonna get it right. It was none of that. I was just like, I got it. And when we shot it, I did it like 2 takes. Yeah. But I was just like, that's how I be on set because there's so many crew members and stuff just looking. You just like, what they thinking? Yeah. Well, what is this person? And then those scenes that are like hella emotional, hella intimate, hella like, it could be embarrassing if you really not used to it, bro. Because realistically, the crew members are thinking about stuff. Like they haven't judgments in their head. They might be thinking like, yo, he killing it. They might be thinking like, damn, he messing up. But you can't worry about that. Right. You mess up your whole performance. It's crazy.
Yeah. So in 2014, you did MTV Faking It. How was it working with MTV?
MTV was dope. MTV was the reason why I got my verification on Twitter and Instagram. So
X now.
Yeah.
You know, switched it.
They done pulled everything.
No, right. No, they didn't. That's cold. They took my verification. I earned that, man. But nah, that was dope. I mean, working for MTV was just super dope because I really watched it growing up like crazy. And really, I always think about those times. It's just me just wanting to work and just learning new stuff on set. That was a comedy. So I really just I learned that, in comedy, the pacing different. So you gotta it's like this, and then you gotta hit the joke and then come back. So like everything feel a little out of whack, but I learned fast that comedy way harder than drama.
Damn.
Way harder.
It is?
Man, what's like, to do a really good comedy and a well-written comedy, you really have to hit the jokes. And that's what I realized on MTV faking it. And it was just like, damn, I don't want to force jokes, or this joke might not even be funny to me. How do I make this funny? And it's so many different things, but it was a learning process. Every job is a learning process.
Yeah, it's something new. Yeah. So you did 2 films. He did 2 films. They had us, the culture, in a headlock. He did Straight Outta Compton and the New Edition story. Bro, that's for you to be a part of that. That's legendary, bro.
Them two, like those 2 going.
Them gonna live on forever, bro.
Yeah.
Like how did it feel to like be a part of those? Starting with Straight Outta Compton.
Straight Outta Compton was crazy. That was probably the best set I ever been on, as far as like, bro, we just had random people pull. I remember Steve Nash pulled up to set one day. What?
Steve, what was you doing over there,
like,
man?
I'm hearing the cast, like, yo, Steve Nash. I'm like, Steve Nash? Like, we just had somebody here yesterday. So, like, it was always somebody pulling up. But
everybody just wanted to be a part of that shit.
I know.
Man,
it was dope, bro. Like, my middle name is Tyree. My character name was Tyree. Dr. Dre really thought that was cool. You know, that was his brother's name. I mean, he really thought it was crazy at first. He was just like, get the fuck out. He's like, nah. And I always, you know, hear people say that he said that I really reminded him of his brother. His brother passed. But it was dope, man. Like, I was working with really heavy hitters on that, man. Corey Hawkins, O'Shea Jackson Jr.,
Big Dog.
Aldous Hodge. It was just so many, Paul Giamatti. It was heavy hitters on that. Like, those sets were crazy. But I think doing it when you shooting it, it's like, yo, you first book it and you think, yo, my life has changed forever. Then you got to get into the work. Then you get into the work. Then it come out, and then you just realize the magnitude of it, man. Like, my role wasn't crazy big, but it was just like, when that dropped, people always were sending me videos in the theater and stuff. And it's like, yo, that's crazy. The only thing is you could get lost into that, thinking that every project after that it's gonna be like that, but it ain't gonna be like that. Every project not gonna go to the theater. It ain't gonna go crazy. It ain't gonna be critically acclaimed. So it was a learning experience, but then it was humbling right after too, though. And then New Edition, I mean, I didn't know New Edition was gonna be that big.
Bro, you played Bill Biv DeVoe though, bro.
Yeah,
that was like, bro, that's big, bro.
Yeah, that was crazy. I don't do choreography, so I had to. Yeah, when I booked it, I didn't even book it yet. They had the 4 main cast booked. Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky. Yeah, 4. Yeah, 5. They had the 4 people booked already. Then I was like the last to be booked. And I had to learn like 6 routines in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But in those 2 weeks, I didn't have a job. So I was stressed out the first week. I'm talking about throwing my hat. I had a hat on. I was like doing the moves. I'm talking running out the rehearsal room, like going off. And I remember one of the security guards like, bro, you got this, Keith. Like, you gotta have it, bro. Like you like, if they don't cast you, I don't know what they do. What they gonna do? They gonna have to go back to the drawing board. You gotta get you gotta get it. It's yours. And I don't know, man. It's crazy. Like I said, what your body will do. It's like muscle memory. I was dreaming about them routines at night. Of course, Woody helped me. Woody, one of my
shout out to
friends.
Woody, man.
Shout out Woody. Woody really helped me when we was auditioning. He came to my apartment and he was teaching me like routines before we even auditioned. So he actually gave me a head start too. Yeah. So when we got to like, I was auditioning with the cast that was casted. Like when I had to do the choreography. It was good to know that I kind of knew some of the steps, but it's wild, man. I just started getting it down, and then it became fun. And I remember just one day they all came into the rehearsal room and they was like, "Keith, you got the job," and everybody was clapping and stuff. But
that's fine.
It was really stressful, man. And then like BT only gave us, we had to shoot like 2.5 months of work in like 1 month.
Damn.
Like 1.5 months or something. It was crazy. So like everything was kind of rushed. Like nothing couldn't really mess up because we didn't have the budget to like do reshoots and stuff. But everything happened how it was supposed to. It was super fun. Yeah. When it dropped, it went crazy. I remember.
But it was crazy to see you and Woody in it together because like, bro, I remember like us just kicking it before y'all book something big.
That's
like
real.
We had 24-hour fit, just kicking it like regular.
Yeah,
like
real.
So to see y'all both playing like main characters in such a cultural impactful movie, it was just crazy. Like, what was the reception like after it came out?
bro. Like instantly, I remember
Y'all was on tours like y'all was New Edition, bro.
we was promoting internationally and stuff. It was fun, bro. Like it was like, it's crazy to see the reaction from when you do TV and film. And I think music too, and it's sports too. I mean, entertainment in general. But it's crazy to see the reaction of like fans that quick. I remember posting like a post on the final night, a New Edition story, like, yo, thanks for watching. And my engagement was crazy. And I just remember thinking, I'm thinking like, where did this come from? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But at the time, you see that, bro. I wasn't educated on the industry though. So you see that and I'm like, bro, I'm out of here, bro. Like, what's the next job? I'm about to go crazy. All these fans gonna follow me there, then we're gonna go crazy again. Yeah. No, every time I'm hit with a new problem and get knocked right back down to reality. Like, no, bro, you got so much work to do every single time. But I remember seeing that and I was like, bro, we out of here. And I remember like getting the fan recognition from that was just like going to Atlanta and getting it like crazy. You know, a lot of black people in Atlanta, a lot of people like us, and they seeing me, they like, yo, you Ronnie. It's crazy to like go to the mall by yourself and like people notice you, and then you start to really think like, yo, I'm not famous like that, but like I gotta low-key protect myself. Like, yeah. I'm pulling up to Lennox in Atlanta by myself.
Right, like,
and I'm noticing people following me. I'm like, yo, I gotta go. Like, this is crazy. Yeah. Like, and in my mind, I'm thinking like, bro, I got so much. It also put pressure on you too. It make you think like, yo, I got these people supporting me. I gotta come with more jobs. I gotta come crazier than the last time. It's wild, but it was dope though. And you had I had legends telling me that they watched it,
bro.
Like, I remember I was at the ABFF honors and Nia Long was like, yo, my kids love you. Let's take a picture. Okay. I'm thinking like, what? Nia? Like, what? I'm talking meeting people like that every time. And they're like, yo, you killed it. And they knowing who I am. Like, when I meet them, I'm like, yo, nice to meet you. But they looking at me like, nah, I know who you are. That's crazy to me. I'll be like,
oh, I knew it was turned up for y'all. When look, you know, I'm on Instagram. I'm seeing like party flyers, right? One of the people from your cast, one of the 5, he was on a club flyer with the movie set hair, like from the. I said, oh, he really think he. Oh, okay, it's up. I ain't not
to the ground. He milking that.
Hey, get your Skrilla, get your Skrilla, dog.
You might want to double back on that Nia Long.
Hey,
she just got out of a little situation. Nah, I'll catch it, baby. Nah, I'm playing.
Nah, that was crazy to me though. I mean, it was a couple of people like that though, man. Like, and just really had me like, all right, they watching. Like they seen it. They actually watched me for multiple hours. Yeah. Like that's crazy to me. Like I watched them, so it just it feel like you just got a great deal of responsibility after that. It's like, yo, I can't play around.
Yeah, and then I feel like after that, you kind of like start showing like, I feel like you started growing more as an actor, like as an adult. Like you did the Tomorrow War with Chris Pratt, and I remember that was like the first one. I remember you hitting the chat like, I'm hella excited. Yeah. We shoot guns, we doing all types of stuff.
That's lit.
You know what I'm saying? So it was like, all right, you start developing into more of an adult character on camera. And I knew that was something that was important to you.
Yeah, like you get tired of playing in like teen stories or like young adult stories is dope, but they don't do too many. I feel like they just starting to really do them now. But you just playing high school so much. It's a gift and a curse. I mean, the younger you look, the longer your work, and it's not a bad thing. Like you could play a range of characters at different ages. But the Tomorrow War was tight, man. We had to do the training, had to do the gun training.
He was sending us videos. Yeah, he in the dirt.
Like he Keanu John Wick, Keanu Neal.
Yeah. That was hard. That No, real talk. And it showed me like, yo, you gotta kind of be like that to a certain extent. Like, because of course they could bring in a stunt double, but you gotta get some stuff down for just certain shots. But that was dope working with Chris Pratt. Come on, J.K. Simmons was in that. I mean, it was just so many dope actors to work with. It was a big set. Spoiled the hell out of me. Crafty's was crazy. I'm talking about you walking up to Crafty. It was like 7-Eleven, and you had the warm food. It was crazy. Like the food was nuts. It was just a big set. We working inside big studios, green screens, fake aliens. It was tight, man. I think that was dope. That was a small role too, and it still felt like I was shooting for so long. You know what I'm saying? Only thing about those type of films when you were supporting in a film like that, that's kind of how it was like in Straight Outta Compton. You have to know that your stuff is liable to get cut out. And a lot of my stuff did, but I still had a good enough screen time, and I was grateful for that people could see it and be like, oh, that's Keith, like, that was dope. And they added me and stuff as well. But bro, like, you cannot get your hopes up on set like that. Like in the original script, they had me jumping out of the plane, shooting all the. They had to cut it back to add story stuff, and so you can't get too high or too low in the industry because I remember seeing that. I'm like, this is crazy. But I still got to fast rope out of a helicopter for real, do my own stunts, like be harnessed in the sky and be in a helicopter, having to take off hella quick, like aliens is chasing us. So like you got real pilots in there moving a helicopter like you would in the military. That was crazy to me. But I'm harnessed in it, but I'm sitting down in it, and I'm afraid of heights, and he just fly off hella quick. I'm like, yo, this is nuts. Like, this is nuts. But it was dope, man. That was a dope experience. I definitely want to do more action in the future. That's gonna happen for sure.
Yeah. And you did Famous in Love with Bella Thorne. She's huge, by the way.
Yeah.
She's big time. Like,
yeah, me and Bella, we did. Well, yeah, it was me, Bella. We had an ensemble cast. That was actually before the Tamal Award. That was the first TV show that I led in. So that was on like ABC Family, which became Freeform. That was cool. That was dope. That was tight to go to Warner Brothers every day and shoot. Like you going to Warner Brothers is your office. Like
right there.
Yep. And going up to Warner Brothers and shooting, that was hella tight. So that was a great experience. And Bella had came from Disney. She was on a big show. I think it was called Shake It Up. It was in there. That was a big show on Disney. So it was dope. And the show was based off a book. So and Marlene King was the showrunner, creator. She did Pretty Little Liars. So it was dope. It was fine.
Solid.
Yeah. And then you The Perfect Find. That was one because I remember going to New York. I support my friends.
Yeah, he
went to New York. Went to my man's premiere.
Yeah, he did.
That was lit. Hey, I had a ball out there.
He really, you pulled up.
But I didn't know because I'm watching. So we watched the premiere, and then they had you and Lala and Gabby and all y'all on stage, and y'all kind of talked about the movie. And I didn't know that was like one of the first times where it's like you got picked for that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like you didn't audition, you was chosen for that, and that meant a lot to you. Like all the work you put in.
I want to say though, let me give a shout out to Irv Gotti, because Irv is the one that actually sent me my first offer to BET. It was on the show called Tales on BET.
I remember
I did an episode of that. Irv was the first person to call me and be like, yo, Keith, the role is yours. Like, I need you to do this. Like, so I will say he was the first for like television, but the one I did with Gabby, that was the first film that I had to lead in where I got an offer. That was crazy. Like, I got a call from Tommy during the pandemic. He was like, I got this script, I want you to read it. And I'm thinking it was just one of those things where they send me a script, I read it, and then if it happened, happen. If it don't. But when I read it and I liked the script, he was like, cool, we're gonna hop on Zoom and you're gonna meet the team. I'm thinking it's like an audition. So when I hop on Zoom, they was like, yeah, so this is why we want you to play this role. And I was like, oh, you got Gabby on there, you got Numa, our director, on there, you got the execs from Netflix, Tommy and his whole studio, Tommy Oliver, with Confluential Films. It was crazy. I was just like, bro, this is an offer? Like, this is nuts. So right after that, I started working with an acting coach, and we was preparing for like months before then. Yeah. And that was dope. I'm nominated for NAACP because of it right now, which is dope.
Yes, sir.
So I'm hopefully
make sure y'all go vote for Keith Powers,
definitely
man.
Get that.
That's
vote.
big time.
Yeah,
that's big time.
That's gonna be. Hopefully, I could get that one. I'm competitive, so like I wasn't trying to be too cool when I found out I was nominated. I'm like, I'm finna tell people to vote. I didn't even know over NAACPs they had voting for like fans and in the public. I said, oh, what? Oh yeah, I'm posting. I'm not about to act like I'm too good to promote that. But nah, that was dope. That was the first one where I got the offer. But I was nervous as hell, man.
What was it like working with Gabby?
Man, working with Gabby was fire. Like, she dope, bro. Like, she just hella cool, man. Like, and she don't play on set. Like, she very stern.
That's good.
She very assertive. If you do something that's dumb, she gonna let you know. But she gonna do it out of love. Like, she gonna do it, and she'll tell me, like, Keith, I hate yelling at people. I really hate yelling at people. But, as a black woman on set, you really gotta assert yourself, because on set, man, if people could play with you and not do their job, and they gonna play it as much as you let them. Like, you gotta set the standards early. Like, yo, this ain't happening. No, don't do this, don't do that. But it was dope working with her, bro. We had dope conversations on set. And she got all the stories. I can't share none of the stories. She got all the stories, bro.
Yeah.
She's super dope, bro. Like, that was hella fun. But it was hella pressure. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm thinking, like, in my head, I'm like, bro, I gotta really be clean in this. Like, I gotta really, the chemistry is everything. So I'm like, I gotta come correct, or ain't nobody gonna wanna watch this. So,
Right.
Yeah.
What do you feel like your biggest growth has been in acting? Coming from where you came from, like, going to the auditions, overthinking everything, to now, like, what do you feel like your biggest improvement has been?
I think my confidence. I think I know who I am, what kind of talent I am. I don't try to compare myself to other talents. I know what I bring to the table, and I know that if I just hone in on my uniqueness and who I am, I know that everything that I'm building is gonna come to fruition, and it's gonna be in abundance, like, in the future, if I just hone in on that instead of worrying about what this person, or if they doing that, I gotta do something close to that, or how do I get on that because they did that job? How do I get that job? It's not about that no more. It's like, whatever come to me first, naturally, I lean into that. I make sure it's the right work, and I don't second guess it. But it's just, with that all being said, it's the confidence. My confidence is way better. And I just understand the craft more. I understand what I like as an actor, what I want to work on, what kind of stories I want to work on.
I was just about to ask.
Yeah, type of filmmaker. So I know what I like, and now nobody could tell me what I'm supposed to like. When I first get in the industry, people talk about certain filmmakers' films, and I feel like, oh, I got to know that film. No, I don't. I grew up, my top 5 is Friday, The Dark Knight, Superbad, Truman Show, and 40-year-old version. Like, that's my whole makeup.
I know
of
my
film.
pocket. I know
I know what I want to do. I know what I like, and that's okay. I could lean into that, and I could build a career off that. But people, actors, and they so elitist. It's not all, but some are like elitists, and they so prestigious, and they like, I went to Juilliard and NYU and Yale, and I like this. I did theater, and that's cool. I think that's beautiful, and I learned from that. But I like what I like, and I understand how I could use that to my advantage as an artist.
You had to do like a crazy long monologue, cause I took theater in college, bruh. I was saying line like after every 2 lines, like so. Talk us through. Are you good? Are you confident doing it? Like,
bro? You know what's crazy, bro? Monologue is way easier than doing a long scene, because 2 people are talking, so you gotta also know when to talk. Like, you gotta know, but at the same time, you can't be listening to it like that, like waiting for them to finish and then say your line, because it'll come off like that. Monologues are way easier to me, bro. Like, I could memorize a monologue in like a couple hours, bro. Like, it's not. I surprise myself. I'll be like, yo, I know this. I tell somebody, yo, hold that real quick. I'm about to say a couple of lines. Where'd I mess up on? Bring it back.
nothing.
Get it back. Like, I'm like, hold on, I got it. Like, it's wild. I had to do, for a film that I got coming out this year called Uglies on Netflix, I had to do a monologue talking to a group of people. I lead this revolution. I'm talking to a group of my people. It was raining that day. They didn't want their costumes to get wet. They told all the other actors, the extras and stuff, they told me, they said, hey, Keith, you're going to have to read that monologue to the crew. We're going to take the actors out, put them under the tent. We don't want their costumes to get wet. Are you okay with that? I was like, I didn't understand why they asked you okay with that, because I'm like, I feel like y'all just made y'all decision already. But I was like, let's do it. Like, I got it. Mind you, though, this monologue, I've been prepping for hella long. The night before, they gave me an alternate version of it. They said, memorize the alternate version of it, just in case we go to this version, but have both versions memorized. They was different, but it was the same kind of sentiment. It was the same type of what I was trying to get across to my people. I stayed up all night learning that alternate version to come back the next day, and they said, no, go back to the original version. And then that happened. So I'm saying I'm talking about a 1.5-page monologue to the crew members.
No chance.
So when I'm saying that,
no chance.
So when I'm saying the monologue, bro, they sitting on one knee looking at, like, I have to find people to look at so I can start feeling the scene and just feeling what I'm talking to. I'm looking at the crewmen, they're looking at me like, I'm like, yo, this shit kind of distracting, but I did it. And I was like, yo, that's crazy that I did that. Like, that's why I was just excited to tell that story now. It's just funny, you go through stuff like that, and it's like, I got through that, but that was crazy. I was frustrated. I'm like, wait, an alternate version of the monologue. I've never heard of this, but like I said, every job is different. Like you never know what. You can't really get used to how it is on set. Right. Every job is different.
What's the type of role that you haven't played yet that you really want to play? Because my dream, I want to be in the Bad Boys. I want to be with Martin and Will, fighting crimes. You know what I'm saying? Like I feel like that's what with Bad Boys for Life. I was supposed to be in that.
Mine Marvel movie. We ain't got to be Marvel shit. Any superhero.
Any superhero movie. Superhero
yeah,
movie.
that should be fire.
Man, I mean, both of y'all said me as well, but I think playing a villain, man, a menacing
like the
villain.
Joker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you could, it's hard. Like people don't. I think people tell me I got a kind face, so it's hard to like play a role like that when you do. But it's like that's what makes it more challenging. It's like, yo, I'm finna get real like crazy and have people looking at me in real life like, yo, you kind of nuts.
You all
like,
right?
Yeah, like that's. I really want to. I think a villain role just always seemed fun. I mean, villains are always complex characters, so you got so much to play with.
Hey, do people ever get stuck in character?
Yeah, for sure. If they,
Dark Knight,
yeah. I mean, they do. I think what happens is like when you act in offset, like when you take that character offset, you create habits for yourself, that you didn't have before, mannerisms and stuff, because you creating a character and you're trying to make them real. I never had to go through that. I never had to play a role where I feel like I had to do that yet. But it is scary to hear stories of like, I read Will book and he said when he went to go do 6 Degrees of Separation while he was shooting Fresh Prince, he said that he forgot how to be the Fresh Prince. So when he got back to set, he had to surround himself by his Philly homies again because he forgot how to be himself because he was trying to create this other character for this movie. He created like these little habits for himself that took him out of who he was from West Philly. And I've heard so many stories like that, and I'm like, hey, that's kind of scary.
That's very scary, bro.
If you think about it, our makeup of who we are as a human just all come from habits over years. You know what I'm saying?
Upbringing and all that.
And you could train your body out of that. And that's scary because you could low-key lose yourself. So, I mean, I always say do whatever comfortable and do what's healthy for you. You don't want to do stuff that's going to mess you up in real life, but at the same time, some people take their craft that seriously. Yeah. These actors don't be playing. They be artists.
Right.
Like, they don't play, but I admire it too. I admire that.
Who's some of your favorite actors like growing up? Like who'd you really like?
I mean the legendaries. I mean the Denzels, Al Pacino, Will Smith, De Niro, Leo, Bale, Forrest Whitaker, Daniel Day-Lewis, Natalie Portman, Meryl Streep, Viola Davis. I got so many, bro, for so many different reasons. I'm a big fan of Ryan Gosling. Ryan Gosling is my guy. Come on, Drive. He got The Notebook, La La Land. I think he does every Blade Runner. He does everything. He does the like a good palette of everything that I kind of see myself doing. So Ryan Gosling is one of my favorites for sure.
One of my favorites is Mark Wahlberg. I love Mark Wahlberg,
tight,
bro.
Mark fun.
Yeah, I like him, bro. He a beast on that camera, bro. He is, bro. Like
Ted too.
He get it too. Like. That was crazy. Yeah. Yo, I see you make a face. That was crazy.
Oh, what happened?
Yo, I said he a beast on that camera. These dudes is crazy. Hey, man, that's where we need to pause. But
y'all crazy.
Man, but nah, Mark Wahlberg, definitely one of my favorites. Yeah. Do you have, like, mentors in the industry? Like, people you could lean on if you, like, for advice or...
Well, one of my mentors, he passed away. His name was Dustin Felder. He was like one of my first...
I remember you was very close to him.
Yeah, he was one of my first acting coaches teachers that showed me that I could be in this industry. He always believed in me. He died right before, like, I booked a couple of jobs that would have had him like, see, I told you. He was a mentor. I always wish I had like an acting mentor. But I think me and my friends that's in the industry, we talk about this industry every day. I think we kind of mentor each other in a way. We always look out for each other. And honestly, I learned a lot from my homies in the industry. We really talk about this like we talk about sports too. Like every day we talk about different jobs, who book what filmmakers is coming up, what movies they got that's showing like they the next big filmmaker, why we want to be a part of it. So I think that's all I really need. But a dream is to always have like a Will call you up and be like, or somebody, Leo, somebody, and just be like, yo, I see what you're doing. I'm always around if you need advice. I will say Mike is very helpful in that sense. Michael B. Like if you ever need to hit up Mike, he'll definitely give you some advice. He don't really gatekeep advice. Like, and he's super real and authentic about his advice. So that's cool.
Yeah. That's dope, man. Because it's like, from the outside looking in, we don't really know like in terms of like how the community
it's
is.
a whole industry.
It's I mean, it's a lot of gatekeepers. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
It is. It's a lot of people that don't want to let the youngins in. They don't want to let them know too much. That's just how it is, bro. Like,
It's like that in football.
I was about
Somebody
to say.
got to
gotta
take
be
your
the same.
spot, bro. They
Yeah.
not giving you advice. They not helping you with nothing.
I heard what Shannon Sharp said. He said his first training camp, the tight end ahead of him gave him the wrong route to run.
See?
That's crazy.
Like, for real. Like,
It's like that though.
trying to keep their job.
Man, and I done heard stories about like even big actors kind of doing like little things here and there that came on very like haterish, and it's like, dang, like I would have never thought they would have did that. But you got to remember they human.
You know what?
They be feeling threatened in their position.
I don't like. I've come to a point, like moving out here, it was like cool to like hear about like the people. Like I seen this person on TV, so to like know like extra stuff about them was cool. But now I've gotten to the point where it's like I don't want how I view them to be tainted by knowing how they really are. So it's like I don't even be wanting to know no more, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? I just want to stay in that fan lane.
That'd be my biggest fear with meeting my like. I don't like to say idols no more, but people I really looked up to, man, because I be scared. I'm like, yo, like you catch them on the wrong day, but to you, that's that. Like that's that's the only interaction you had with them, and they might not want to talk to you.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, that'd be scaring me. I'd be like, I don't want to meet such and such. I'm cool.
Yeah.
Or if I see somebody, you could just tell somebody energy off there. You like, I'm gonna stay over here. I'll say what's up to them another time.
Yeah.
I can't go through that because I'm gonna end up not being able to watch nothing they in. I'm gonna be like, nah, that person weird. Like,
How difficult is it being a black actor though? Because
it's
you know
it's better.
it's getting better. It's getting better.
But it's hard still. It ain't that much opportunity out there for us, man. I'm gonna be real. And then as an actor, you can't take every job. Like if I wanted to work all the time, I could go do certain jobs, but they don't be up to par. They don't be good jobs, and I don't want to work to just say I'm working. Like I got a goal that I'm working towards, and you take certain jobs, it messes up your trajectory, it messes up your brand, it messes up how filmmakers look at you, how studios look at you, how fans look at you. So you got to be really calculated. But yeah, yeah.
So, but it's crazy to think about that because it's like, all right, like NFL, like you actors, y'all strong mentally because you can go to 10 auditions in a week and get 10 no's and y'all just have to wipe it away. You know what I'm saying? Like erase it. But it's like, if you in the NFL and every team telling you no, when somebody offer you a job, you taking it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, y'all still, even though I've been being told no, you kind of like, all right, I've been being told no and I finally got off, but this ain't it. So I'm going to say no now.
I've learned balance. I've learned like, yo, I got to take this job because I need to put some money in my pocket. Like before, I was saying no. I'm like, nope. Now I look back like, damn, I should have just did it. It would never hurt me.
I'm in that same situation. Like, and it's crazy you say that. That's what my agent was trying to warn me because this past year I took the minimum. He like, look, once you take that minimum one time, the next team gonna do the same shit. You're gonna be a minimum dude the rest of your career. You know what I'm saying? So it's the same. Like you take them jobs and they may not be the most popping things. That's what they might categorize you as. So. It is tricky, so
studios is looking at that too. In our world, it's like, oh, he did that though. Like, so they gonna throw a number at you that's really low, and of course, hopefully you got a good attorney and you know your worth. You could counter with something high, but like all those jobs before that make a difference. You know what I'm saying? Like that really does mess with your rate and stuff like that. It's tough, man. It's tough, bro. Like think about this. I've been acting since 2013. It's 2024. I've worked on a total of like 24 titles in like a decade, like in like 12 years. But I probably done been on like 2,000 auditions. Like it's nuts, bro.
That's crazy,
but I
bro.
booked 24 jobs.
That's crazy.
Like, bro, I mean, I'm not good at math, but you do
That's
that percentage.
crazy. Yeah, that's
nuts, bro.
I've never thought about it in that realm.
I'm in like the kind of in the 1% because it's only like 1% of actors working out of all, literally probably under one. It's probably, and then it's the under 1%ers that's like stars. But like, bro, it's crazy. I be thinking like, man, I don't know how I still be doing. I do get mad at it. I do get mad at the industry, but I I just know that I got something, and I have worked, and I have done some good work, so I know I could just keep building off it. But it's tough, bro.
But you know, for both of y'all though, it say a lot about your character because he see every day NFL people come and go. You see people come out here to pursue acting, whatever.
Oh my God.
They don't get nothing in a year or two. They go back home. You know what I'm saying? They come and go. So to stick around for a decade plus and to keep working at it and be actually a working actor, that say a lot. That say a lot about your character.
I would say my motivation at first was I just didn't want to go back to SAC and come off as a failure. I didn't want to be the dude that went back. Mm-hmm. Like that was always my thing. It's like, bro, I can't go back. I gotta keep working, bro. I can't go back. And they see me at a grocery store and be like, bro, you back? Like, what happened? Like, I think that was my first motivator. I was like, bro, I ain't going back.
I ain't gonna lie,
bro.
Me too. Yeah,
I ain't going back. I'm about to, we're gonna make this work.
I'm gonna figure it out, bro.
I was like, I'd be homeless in LA before I go back. Like that's literally, and my parents would take me back in open arms. But I was like, nope. Yeah. I just can't. I can't. I think that was the initial motivator, but now it's just like, I know I got something. It's just about building off it.
Yeah. Now
it's a long game.
The strike.
Oh man.
I think probably was a very scary time for y'all industry. Just kind of talk to us about the writer's strike and the actor's strike and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's us just wanting our just due. Like, it's all the strikes are valid, especially for writers. The workloads they have to do, and how much they get paid, and the writers is even more complicated than the actors. But with us, is like the strike really revealed that we don't make as much as people think. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's crazy how much the industry has changed, bro. Like, to where back then you would have a rate when you do a TV, when you test for a television show, and test is like when you get to the last level before getting that job, but they tell you how much you gonna make. You sign a contract, you say this, you gonna make $25K in that on a 10 episode show before commission. And you sign that, then you go to the last, now you know how much you gonna make. So you like, yo, I got 25. That, depending on where you are in your career, that's a lot for some people.
That's a lot.
Like, bro,
25, okay, 25 is 25 in today's times, bro.
So now you going into that last audition thinking like, yo, I gotta book this, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you don't get to take that rate that you tested for 25 to the next job anymore. So now the next job, they might say, well, you're only making 15K for this. And you're like, wait, but for that last, I tested for that one on my other. They don't do quotes no more. It's like a lot of things. Streaming messed up everything.
That's what I was gonna ask you too. How does streaming?
Because streaming, bro, it's all based on subscribers, bro. Mm-hmm. You got people watching our stuff for billions of hours, and we're not getting no residuals. We get an upfront pay. That's the front and the back end, and that's the problem with that. Is like, how do you calculate how much a stream is?
Yeah.
How do you?
I think it's like that for music too.
Bro,
like they're trying to figure out how am I know you got a platinum album if everybody just streamed it? We don't know.
Bro, it's crazy. Like, and the streaming services look at it, I mean, they get to kind of lowball it. They don't have to show their numbers.
They don't got to reveal nothing.
They don't got to reveal
It's their product. It's their product.
Bro, it could be billions of people watching our stuff every day, and we don't know, bro. Like, back then, when you was on a network television show,
the numbers was right there.
Bro, what? Them residuals is lasting you for a decade. Yeah. Mm-hmm. You book a hit TV show, it's canceled in 3 or 4 seasons, bro. You still eating off that money. Yeah. Like, for a long time. And I still get residuals for like Straight Outta Compton, which is super dope, and certain stuff. I get residuals, but like streaming messed up everything. So it's just us wanting our residuals. Then it's AI protections.
And what was they trying to do with this AI thing with y'all?
That shit is crazy.
AI crazy, bro, because at one point they wanted to pay extras $150 for the day, scan them,
and just have them forever.
That's
then crazy. They can never get paid again, really. No. They don't need you.
And they could for sure find somebody off the street for $150. Mm-hmm. You would think they can't. They could, bro. People like, I gotta be on TV. I get a quick $150 for the day. Yeah. I'm doing that. Or even if it's $500, that still ain't nothing.
Ain't nothing for them to use your face forever, whenever they want.
So now with AI, the technology is so advanced, they could create people on screen. So before there was extras walking through, they could shoot a dinner scene with just nobody walking in the back while you shooting it. You watch, and it's just people walking, faces that they've taken.
That's scary,
and stuff.
bro.
And then like wanting to use our face, like when you book a Marvel job, sign in like an AI, sign in like a consent form, basically for them to use that scan of yours for multiple films, whether you're alive or dead. Like, the only positive I think I ever seen of AI that I thought that came from AI was reshoots. So if I'm going to shoot another film, you could take my scan, put it on my stuntman, he do the scene, you got literally put my face on his body and like morph it however you want, then I could go work on another job while y'all do that and I still get paid for that.
Gotcha.
That's still dangerous though, because it's like, who owns that scan, right? That's where it gets tricky to me. I don't understand it. I'm like, so if Netflix scans me one time, do they just own that? Because that's scary. Like, they was even talking about a thing where like actors really just sit at home and in the studio call like, hey, we're gonna use your scan, we're gonna pay you.
Nah.
That's crazy,
They
bro.
can put your face on that person doing anything.
Anything, bro.
Yeah.
Hell nah.
And honestly, we signed a contract. I gotta go back and look at the terms again, but we're AI is in our business. It's gonna be in every single business, and it's kind of scary. But we definitely signed some terms where like they could call us and be like, hey, we want to use your AI scan. You get to approve like what we're using it for. Because CGI is kind of that. When you watch superhero movies, that's what it is. It's just not as advanced as AI. So they gonna hit us and be like, hey, we want to use your AI scan. You get to approve the scenes. You get to approve. So that's cool. You get approval, but it just shows that our industry is going into a scary direction. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Every industry for real.
When
Like it's crazy.
When the strike was happening, because so like when the writers did their strike, that mean nothing was moving.
Nothing.
They not making no. That mean ain't no money moving. No. Nothing is going on
And
because they're not writing anything to be filmed. So it's kind of like everybody at a standstill. Ain't nobody making no money.
The thing is too, like we was able to do award shows and stuff though, but the problem is writers was on writer strike, so they couldn't write the hosting stuff for the show. They couldn't write like what the host say, or they couldn't write the programs. So a lot of it sometimes was just playing like music videos or like.
Yeah, because a lot of people was complaining about the award show, and I remember you saying like, bro, it ain't no writers. What y'all expect them to do? They don't know what they doing without the writers.
They can't do nothing without the writers. It's like they boycotting. And then when actors went on strike, we couldn't do nothing. We couldn't do a podcast like this and talk about acting.
Dang.
We couldn't do award shows. People couldn't even go to their premieres. So like movies was dropping and we couldn't even promote it. So a lot of movies flopped at the top of the strike because actors couldn't promote their movies. So it was tough. And then like nothing's moving. Like ain't no auditions being sent. Your team ain't hitting you. Nothing's moving. Like it's like no, we're on standstill.
That strike stuff is scary because it's like even NBA or even NFL, they've been talking about y'all need to go on strike for guaranteed contracts for mad long. But look, people need their bread. They ain't trying to. Them dudes on their first, second year, they ain't trying to sit out.
Exactly. Dude.
Striking helps. It does help, but like that's tough for like sports.
Yeah, what a practice squad dude, like he barely making anything. He can't afford a strike.
Come on, bro. That's like at least 6 months of striking.
Yeah,
like,
they
that's
can't
not
afford it.
Cool. I mean, that's like how the NBA lockdown was. In a sense, like I mean, when the players wanted to, I forgot what the lockdown was before, but like that's really what a lockdown is. Like, it's scary.
Yeah. Do you think streaming does any good for the industry or no? Or you don't see any good in it as of right now?
No, I like streaming. I think streaming is dope to be able to tap into your favorite stuff at the click of the button. But I will say I've learned that it makes me miss like having like a shelf of DVDs. Mm-hmm. I don't like when Friday is on Netflix one week
and it's gone.
It's gone. Like the fact that you could just take material off whenever you want, just feel like you got control. I was telling my girl, I'm like, we got to get back into buying like DVDs or some type of tangible entertainment because I don't like the idea that they could just snatch stuff whenever they want. It's even if you think about like my Spotify, I'm thinking like, yo, I stream all this. If Spotify I ain't got no music.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, facts,
if the internet break down, I can't get on YouTube. Like, it's crazy to think like we don't have no tangible shit. Like, I got vinyls. And I'm buying even more vinyls, and they getting popular again because people want physical copies of stuff. But it's gift and a curse. Streamers give us way more opportunities, though. There's so many more jobs out there for so many different people, like especially people of color, minorities. It's so much out there for us. So it's a blessing and a curse, and it's opportunity out there. But it's just like there's no structure anymore, bro. Everybody's
it's like the wild, wild west, man.
Yeah, it's like. People just throwing stuff at the wall and just waiting to see what stick. You know what I'm saying? So,
We talking about streaming. how you feel about Tubi movies? They that bad? I ain't never really seen a Tubi movie, but all I hear is like, this shit is out of pocket. Maybe it's just the budget.
Bro, man.
I feel like I can say this because I've been a part of bad stuff. So I feel like I can say this. I'm qualified to say this. Yeah, it's some bad stuff. I ain't gonna lie, it's really bad.
The
Production,
acting.
acting.
It's because of the budget though, right? Pretty much.
Tubi is doing a really good job at putting a lot of like classic films and stuff on a platform. Their originals cater to like independent filmmakers. I love that they cater to people that want to get into the business.
Okay.
That's tight.
See, I ain't know that.
Yeah, they do. They give you really good deals. I heard you get a lot of money from Tubi. Like they're really looking out for people to live their dreams and just want to
create.
Yeah, just want to create. Creators wanting to create and put their work on a platform. I think that's super dope. But it's a lot of bad stuff in there. And I will say this, I be liking bad stuff sometimes. Like it's like a guilty pleasure. Like I'm like, yo, I go through, I'm looking at some of these movies, I'm like, oh, this look crazy. I'm gonna watch this right there. Like,
Bro, I watched some joint on there, man. I think my uncle walked through the background. I'm like, what the fuck? Uncle Freddie, is that you?
Yo,
Like, what?
yo.
Like, nah, man. Yo, cut this off, man.
Tubi got some Detroit movies, yo, that I be tapped into. Hey, all the lingo and everything you can use that for character study. I'm like,
For
hey,
real.
if I ever gotta play somebody from Detroit, yo, they got it all in this movie. It be hella funny, the action scenes where they be shooting people.
Yeah, I'm about to say.
Yo, I be like, this is hilarious.
Javante could make a shooting scene better than some of that
For
shit
real,
I done seen.
yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Nah, that's a
Bro,
fact.
it's some crazy stuff on there. But I mean, Tubi on their stuff though, man. I ain't mad at it. Tubi like, hey, we gonna be the source for the creators directly, and they work with you. Ain't no middleman.
No middleman.
They working with the creators directly, and they got classics on there too. I watched a couple of my classes on Tubi, like, oh man, and it's free. You know, it got ads, but it's like you could hop on Tubi for free and watch some stuff. I'm like,
Right. They ain't hitting you with the subscription fees. Is it hard for you as an actor to like just sit down and enjoy a movie without like critiquing it?
bro. Yeah, sometimes it is hard. I ain't gonna lie, cause I notice things and I'm like, what the hell? But a good movie, you know, a movie good when you just forget about all that. I be thinking it's real. I'm like, yo, this is crazy. But I definitely watch stuff now with a different eye. Like when I watch that Tubi stuff, I'm like, they didn't even go in for coverage. Like this is crazy. They shot the whole scene from the Y. They didn't even get into the convo. It's nuts, yo. Like. The editing
Had germ
be crazy.
shooting it.
Yo,
Had germ shooting it.
bro, it be crazy. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I be watching some stuff like this is the wardrobe be bad, makeup, lighting. It's like, oh my God, stuff that I noticed. But I mean, I try not to be that person, especially when you're watching with other people.
Yeah.
And you be in that, no, that ain't right. They looking like, I ain't about to watch nothing with you.
I ain't watching nothing
Or
with you, bro.
I find myself finding way more stories predictable because I just understand the structure of scripts. I understand when it's Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, the climax, the resolution. So I'm able to watch a film and know like, oh, that's about to happen with that Easter egg from earlier. They're going to tie that together. So I try not to do that all the time. My parents hate when I do that. I go back home and I do that. But yeah, I definitely look at it different. I think I have to though. As a
Do you
creative.
think that film, like people appreciate great films, like still today? Like, do films have the same shelf life as before?
Not as much as before. I think we appreciated stuff way more, and we had a lot of original content. Like now, it's a lot of reboots, it's a lot of IP, a lot of remakes, a lot of biopics and stuff because it's just like I said, it's IP. It's all about IP now. What was the question again?
Like, no, as far as the shelf
Do
life.
they
of movies.
appreciate it?
Yeah, no. Yeah, people appreciate it. I mean, Oppenheimer. Christopher Nolan is, I want to say this right now, Christopher Nolan is my favorite filmmaker of all time. Oppenheimer, Dark Knight, Inception, The Prestige.
Yeah.
I mean,
Classics.
Memento, like,
Yeah,
he
monster.
my favorite filmmaker of all time. Oppenheimer was amazing. The fact that people went to go see a 3-hour historical drama and it made Billy half a Billy, that's nuts. That shows you that, movies, because the pandemic messed the theater up.
Yeah.
Man, pandemic happened, and it was just like the theaters wasn't, a lot of AMC was about to close down. Thank God it didn't. Like, that's crazy. Like, we was going to lose the theater. Like, for
We
real.
kept them open.
Yeah.
Bruh.
Look, he used to book the whole theater. Look, they had a deal.
That's hard.
I'm telling, he used to
them
book
open.
the whole theater.
That's hard. Nah, bro, like, they was about to be done. Like, and Barbie went crazy, and then they did the cross-marketing with Barbie and Oppenheimer. So, like, movies is back. The new rom-com that just came out with Sydney Sweeney and Glenn Powell's going crazy. I think it's called Anyone But You.
She's
Yeah.
hot right now. Everybody love her.
That did like 105th, I think, in the box office so far for $25 million budget. Like that's like we getting back to the old ways. But I think back then I think we really, all of us, I think we all came up in like the golden time of life.
Yeah.
We seen like what
transition.
it was and what it's gonna be.
Yeah.
And like I don't think no one's ever gonna live in a time like we do now. Like this is like literally the golden era of life for real. I really feel like that. But I think that theaters is back. It's just gonna be a little different as always. They teamed up with streamers too.
Yeah. Do you ever want to do like work behind the camera in terms of
I want to produce. Yeah, I think about directing, but I really just want to produce films, produce shows. I got ideas. I like unscripted TV a lot. I want to come up with my own like reality shows too. I know it's weird. I really love unscripted television. But yeah, I definitely want to be producing is where I want to be. I want to be able to bring the people together to get a film made. Or get that director. I know this actor. We're gonna bring in this line producer. You know, I want to.
Yeah, I was just about to ask, like, how does a writer and a director, those two different people, right?
Mm-hmm. Or you could be the same. It could be the same. I know people who write, direct, and star in their own stuff.
So how does that relationship work? Like, do they got to know each other, or the director just see a script and be like, oh, I got a vision for this?
Yeah, it could be like that.
Yeah.
They might not even have a relationship. They might meet a couple of times. Sometimes there's a main writer, or they might have a writer's room for a show. Yeah, they see a director. They have a writer. A lot of writers want to direct their own stuff because they like, I know the vision of the shit that I wrote.
I wrote the shit.
Some people is like, yo, I got this script. This director I really like sees the script and he creates the world. He says, okay, this is what the wardrobe is gonna be. This is what we're gonna shoot. You know what I'm saying? This is the actor. I gotta find that lead actor I know I could work with to really be the quarterback of this. And then you got the producers over the director. Depending on how the producers are, they might be a little bit of directing too. They come in on set and they're like, no, he can't wear that, or no, this don't make sense for the story. She can't know this at this time. It's crazy how many people is involved. I really feel like it reminds me of football. Like everyone has to be on point.
Head coach, the coordinator, then a running back coach. He want this back in for this play.
Bro.
No, I want my starter in there. Goal line, we need this dude. Then
It's literally that, bro. It's
you got a pass game coordinator, run game coordinator.
Yep.
I'm like,
so many moving
It's
parts.
literally like that on the set too.
Yeah.
Like you got these people who are in charge of light. You got your DP, your director of photography that's right there with. As a director, you got to have a fire DP because he gonna help you show you how things supposed to look. The lighting got to be on point. And you need a crew that's quick and efficient. It's tough, but a director and writer, it could be I envy those people who direct, write, and act.
That's a lot
Like
of work.
it'd be crazy. Like I'm not a writer. I have ideas. I write ideas. I'll write a whole treatment. But I wish I could learn it. I just don't like writing. But I really want to just write it, direct it, produce it, and star in it myself. Like there's a lot of people like that. I envy those people. That's hard, bro. But it's a lot of work.
Yeah. So what advice would you give to somebody that's wants to move out from home, whether they move into New York to pursue this, or LA or Atlanta or wherever, to somebody that's wanting to get into the entertainment industry?
I think for advice, for me now, it's like, if I could do this over, and I don't like to say I would change anything, but if I could redo coming to LA and being an actor, I would have went to a college and studied TV and film. I would have tried to get into Juilliard, Yale, probably went to a HBCU, somewhere with a good TV and film program, learn the craft, you could put that on your resume. Studios like that. Studios like when you studied and learned techniques and really learn the craft in school. I didn't know that was a thing. I learned that. A lot of actors got a lot of theater background, a lot of studying under their belt. And they really do this. Like they have techniques because techniques help you get into certain spaces as a character, as a creator. Stuff that I had to learn late. So my advice for anybody trying to get into this is like, learn the craft however you learn the craft. But if you could go to school for this, like it's a long game, right? Like I wouldn't mind coming out here at 23, 24 with all that education under, like, now I know what I want, who I am as an artist. I don't have to feel like, oh, I gotta do this job because I gotta prove myself. It's like, no, I know exactly what I gotta do, and that's my goal. Because I didn't do that, I had to learn on the fly. I'm just blessed enough to learn on the fly while working.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
When you, because you was like, hey, if you come in at 23, 24, it's not bad. But like for people, like kid actors, Can you sometimes get stuck in that because people only view you as that? So when you do become an adult, it's hard for you to get work?
It's tough, man. Some kid actors grow up. I mean, some kid actors go so crazy as a kid, it just go into them as a young adult. It's just a longer career. Some, like, the industry is so tough that it kind of messed them up mentally. I see a lot of childhood actors, they be kind of off, man. I be feeling bad. I be feeling like they just try to live up to an expectation their whole life and never really got to understand who they are. So I always tell myself, yo, like, if my kids want to act, like, they're going to have to act after school and stuff. Like, I really just want them to focus on other things in life so they don't have to depend on acting. And I think a lot of childhood actors depend on it because that's all they knew growing up. Or some just be like, because they did it for so long, I don't care about this. Like, I done did this growing up. But I would say come into it late. Live a little. I think like I was saying, my makeup and my background from Sacramento helped me with my characters.
Right.
Just being in grounded situations, going to functions that get shot up, having those nights being up all
Having
night.
a job.
Yeah, fighting, kicking it with your homies, spending the night, going on trips. Like, all that help you for characters, bro. And all the kids that just grew up
In the industry.
childhood star group, I'm like, where do y'all got to pull from for real? And some of them kids be like super talented. You be like, why are you so damn talented? How you know all this? Like,
Right.
You was born to do this. But I say come into it like early 20, mid 20s. You still got so much time. Your prime is like your 30s. It's a long game for acting. You can act until
That's
you
what's
80.
beautiful about it, though.
Yeah.
Like,
I see a lot of people don't like catch their big break till, you know.
I mean,
I know they put the work in and stuff like that,
Facts.
but it ain't like you just about to come 21. I'm getting it.
see, it's tough for, like, them, NFL, you be lucky you
got a
in there at
timeline.
31, 32.
Yeah.
You lucky. Like,
Yeah.
that's rare to be in the NFL
Right.
after 30, for real.
Yeah.
So, but it's like, acting, like you said, you could act and make money till you 75, 80.
It's so you could be on a TV show making
Liam
good-
Neeson still going overseas rescuing his daughter everywhere.
They say Morgan Freeman been old his whole life. All the movies he the
Bro,
same age.
Literally, bro. Like, it is crazy because I still feel like if Morgan want to lead a film, he could, and people gonna be like, "Yo, you see that Morgan Freeman film?"
Oh,
they
100%.
he's seasoned and they know who he is. They know he old, but it ain't gonna feel like, man, I ain't about to go watch an old Hooper hoop. Like, I'm not about to say, I mean, of course, Bron is Bron, but like, Hoopers get old and they not the same. They're not jumping out the gym. In acting, you always jumping out the gym. It's all about your performance.
It's all about your performance.
So you could be, bro. You could get into. I know so many actors that's just blown up. Like Mahershala Ali is a great example. He did Green Book, and I don't know exactly how old Mahershala is, but I think he in his 40s now, and he about to be the new Blade. He in his mid 40s. I think he damn near close to 50, bro. And he's a beast, bro. Like, but he been doing it for so long, and he from Oakland. Like,
Yeah.
Bruh.
What's I blanked on her name from Baby Boy.
Taraji.
Bro, she just might have had like her greatest performance of her career. She been
Maryland.
doing this forever. She from Maryland.
No, fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. Taraji is another testament to that. Like, you see Baby Boy, like Baby Boy was dope, but she still had to work hella hard after that. When she got Empire was like the thing. Like, that was like, I mean, Taraji did stuff even before that, but Empire was like, come on, man, that did 100 eps. She paid for life. Like, that was just a big show for her career, and she's still going crazy. After the color, she did Crazy in The Color Purple. She did amazing. She gonna keep going up, like, and it feel like she in her prime.
Yeah, it
still,
feel
you
like
know
she
what I'm
just
saying?
walking into her prime now.
Right,
Like,
yeah.
you know what I'm saying? So
That's how it is
crazy.
in our industry. It's a blessing, man. It also show you that, you know, everybody got their own timing.
Yeah, yeah. So the last question I got for you. When you gonna get us in the field? Look, man, we need some work around here, man. Look, we trying to
Bro.
get in one of these films, man. These studios need us, man. You gotta look, you my mans in the industry. Me and JJ.
They ain't scanning my face.
I was just about to say, they
My
got y'all
rights, yeah.
500. You gonna be in there in person one time.
We know our worth. We got a YouTube.
On everything, bro. I mean, man, I be thinking, no, on some real stuff though. I really be thinking, like, when I get to where I really want to be, I do want to produce my own films and like bring my homies into certain characters. That makes sense. Like popping up.
That's
like,
what Adam
Easter
Sandler
eggs.
be doing, don't he?
Oh,
Put his
man,
homies
come
in
on,
all
man.
his movies.
All of
Look,
them,
but look, now he ain't got to worry about none of his homies asking for paper. Y'all all done made millions with me. Don't nobody got to ask me for nothing.
Adam is like
we
the
all getting
perfect
cheese.
example of that. He like the real example for that. He really put all his homies in every single one of his movies.
That's crazy.
That's crazy.
That's
bro.
fire, bro.
I
Like,
mean, when you got that much power too on set, you can do that. There are little characters where you like, I got somebody who could fit this. I got a homie who's literally this character. He'll do a tape. have them come in and do this real quick. Like, and you know, you sign the paperwork and do all the stuff you need to do. But like, you could bring people into these setups and they could flourish, and that might start a career, bro.
Yeah.
I think anybody can be an actor. Literally, I think anybody can be an actor. You find your niche.
You got to take it serious.
You
though.
got to take it serious.
You
Like,
gotta
if you want to
in.
do it for a long time, but I feel like anybody has it. Everybody is so uniquely them. They could create a character that's just like that's dope and that's them, and nobody could say that is right or wrong because
Right.
acting is all subjective. So
Right.
I think it's a dope art for real.
Right.
Yeah.
Man, we appreciate you pulling up.
Hell
We
yeah.
come bearing gifts.
Okay.
Gifts. Shout out to Uka. You know, we gonna supply you with one of these on the way out, man.
Oh snap!
Uka,
It's like that.
yeah. We come bearing gifts, man. So
Nicotine free.
nicotine
Nicotine
free.
free.
Nicotine free is
No.
tea-based. It's tea-based molasses.
tea-based.
So you ain't got to worry about, you know what I'm saying?
This is crazy.
Yeah.
And, it's an aerosol, so it's not really burning and stuff. It's,
ain't
it's a-
no coals involved, none of that. It's
What?
just pods. You just drop it in, man. Great product, man. The flavors is good.
That's
so
crazy, actually.
yeah, man.
Wow,
You know,
I'm mad I didn't think about that first.
yeah, man.
Right.
So, shout out to Uka, man.
out to Uka.
You know what I
Nah,
mean?
thank y'all,
And,
man.
and then these is they about to blow up, bro. They gonna start having these in place because it ain't.
That's crazy.
You don't need no license for it. It ain't nicotine. It ain't none of that. So
Y'all just showed me. Y'all
it's
just gifted me maybe the future. That's crazy.
yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, they gave me the Uka Drake.
Yeah.
And JJ gave
You
me
know
the
what I'm
Uka
saying?
a long time ago.
Yeah, that's a
for real.
fact, man. That's a fact. So we
That's
appreciate
hard.
you pulling
Yeah,
up.
yeah.
We appreciate y'all tuning in to this
sir.
episode of No Bluffin Podcast. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and share the channel. Peace.